for today's book, we are going to read The Secret Kingdom continuation because we have already read some parts. So we will now continue, and then if we are lucky to have enough time, we can finish it. Okay? So we are now in the here. Here, three friends. Ellie, what are the names? Ellie, Summer, and Jasmine. So they are friends and they are going to have some adventures, magic adventures. So this was the first book. We will continue the story. They must be sunflowers, Ellie said to herself, giggling. For a moment, she even forgot how high up they were. As they descended through the fluffy white clouds, Jasmine felt her stomach flip-flop as she saw mermaids, real mermaids, sitting on shimmering rocks, combing their silvery hair. She could even hear their voices singing a hauntingly beautiful song. No, Katya, because it's noisy. Welcome. It's noisy. It can be heard there. Welcome to the secret kingdom, Trixie said with a grin. As they swooped down over the island, a fluttering flock of dragonflies rose up to meet them. A medley of colors surrounded them, and Summer giggled in the lights as one delicately landed on her hair. It's the most gorgeous hair clip ever. Ellie laughed as she admired the dragonfly's beautiful, colorful wings. King Mary proudly pointed out areas of the kingdom as they passed. Can you understand, Katya? The fairy flying school at the Windy Weir, Magic Mountain filled with sparkling snow-covered slopes and ice slides, and Unicorn Valley with its race course and enormous magical tree. Wow, is that your place, King Mary? Jasmine asked, pointing to a fairy tale castle nestled between two hills. A deep sapphire blue moat hugged the castle walls, and magic seemed to glitter on the coral pink bricks of the place. The golden spires of the four palace turrets were studded with rubies and shone in the bright sunlight. King Mary nodded. Home sweet home! The swans landed safely in front of the palace gates, and Ellie slipped gratefully to the ground, followed by Summer and Jasmine. Trixie flew over to them. Did you enjoy that, girls? The kingdom is beautiful, Ellie said. But I'm very happy to be on the ground again. You must be joking, Ellie, Jasmine exclaimed with a grin. I thought it was the best thing ever. I can't wait to ride on a swan again. And it's just the beginning, King Mary boomed. Follow me. He led them over to the gates. The golden railings twisted upward into the shape of a mighty oak. As the king pushed them open, the branches flowered and a fanfare sounded all around them. The king is here, Trixie announced as they walked into the beautiful courtyard. A group of friendly green elf butlers, dressed in long black coats and white gloves, all turned and bowed. Then they returned to hanging streamers in the trees. As the three girls looked closely, they saw that hundreds of glowing fireflies were clinging to the strings to make little lights. Oh my, the king breathed. How handsome the Twinkle Twinkle bunting looks! Trixie, my suggestion for the streamers has worked beautifully. I never doubted that your idea would work, sire, Trixie said. She hovered above Ellie's shoulder. I just needed a bit of pixie magic to help it along, she added in a whisper. Ellie giggled. As the king led everyone farther into the courtyard, they passed a huge fountain surrounded by a cloud of sweet-smelling bubbles. Hang on a minute, said Jasmine. That's not water, is it? Trixie smiled. No, it's lemonade. A lemonade fountain, Ellie cried, running back and forth trying to catch one of the fragrant bubbles on her tongue. Summer and Jasmine laughed as they watched their friend. Behind them came the clip-clap of hooves, and they turned to see a beautiful blue pony led by an elf butler, which was pulling a wagon loaded with brightly wrapped packages. My birthday presents! King Mary exclaimed excitedly, but Summer wasn't interested in the gifts. She could take her eyes off the pony and its aquamarine mane. He's gorgeous, she smiled, and he looks really friendly, Ellie added, staring into the pony's warm brown eyes. Smiling, Trixie tapped her pixie ring and a rosy red apple appeared in each girl's palm. But just as they started feeding them to the pony, Jasmine felt a chill suddenly crawl up her neck. A dark shadow fell over the courtyard. Oh no! He pointed to the sky. Floating over the palace was an enormous thundercloud. On top of the ugly gray cloud, the girls could see a tall, thin woman with a spiky silver crown and a mass of frizzy black hair. Oh no! Queen Malice is here! Jasmine, Ellie, and Summer stared up at Queen Malice on her cloud, their hearts beating fast. Lightning crackled all around, giving the girls the shivers. Thunder rumbled loudly as the cloud stopped above King Mary's palace just long enough for a burst of rain to pour right onto his presence. Your birthday party is ruined, brother, Queen Malice shouted at King Mary. Just you wait and see. What do you think she did? Summer asked the others, but neither Ellie nor Jasmine could guess. Queen Malice gave a cackle of mocking laughter. Then the great cloud sped off. Suddenly, the presents in the wagon began to shake and rattle. There was the sound of tearing as little legs pushed through the wrapping paper. Then the gifts leaped from the cart and ran away. My presents! King Mary wailed. Trixie tapped her ring. Although a stream of purple glitter flowed from it, nothing happened to the gifts. My pixie magic isn't strong enough to undo Queen Malice's spells. Without thinking, Ellie dived forward and caught one of the escaping gifts. As soon as she did, the legs disappeared and the present sat innocently in her hands. Quick, Jasmine said, we've got to catch the rest. Everyone leaped after the fleeing gifts. Jasmine and Summer managed to herd three into a corner and pick them up. One ran straight through the legs of a surprised-looking elf butler. Ellie, who was following it, couldn't stop in time and knocked him over. King Mary caught one by jumping on it and then looked sadly at the present, which was now squashed flat. At least I can fix that, Trixie told him, tapping her ring and repairing it magically. Eventually, all the presents were caught and changed back to normal. The girls stacked them back on the wagon. Trixie blew her hair out of her eyes. I wish we could find a way to stop Queen Malice once and for all, she said fiercely, and her horrible helpers, the storm sprites. The queen has all kind of mean tricks up her sleeve, and we never know where she'll turn up next. She is such a bully, said King Mary, and she's determined to ruin my birthday. I just know that cursed thunderbolt of hers is hidden here somewhere already to cause trouble. The king's eyes brimmed with tears. This is going to be the worst party ever. My subjects are going to be miserable and they won't have any fun. Yes, they will, because we're going to find the thunderbolt and stop it from doing any harm. That's right, Summer and Jasmine chorused in loud, firm voices. And I'll help too, Trixie said, floating up to the king's face and drying his tears away. Thank you, girls, said King Mary, but his voice was still shaky. Tuppence! Trixie called to one of the elf butlers. The elf rushed over and bowed deeply. King Mary needs a cup of hot cocoa with extra marshmallows, Trixie explained. And then he needs to change into his party clothes. His guests will be arriving in 2 hours. Bobbins led the king away into the palace. Let's go and find that thunderbolt, Trixie said as she danced off her hands. We should start in the palace gardens, since that's where the guests will gather later. Remember to keep an eye out of trouble. She stood up on her leaf and sped ahead, leading the girls out of the courtyard and into a maze with twisting and turning paths that seemed to change every time they blinked. Summer, Ellie, and Jasmine looked down every path and under all the edges, but there was no sign of the thunderbolt anywhere. You see, if we reach 12 minutes and 12:30, finish now, okay? Trixie led them out of the maze and past a beautiful pond that had a rainbow leading down into its depths. Trixie explained that the rainbow was a magical slide that could take you anywhere in the secret kingdom you wanted to go. Finally, the girls walked into the garden filled with trees made of cotton candy. Bunting hung from the trees, and a group of brownies were busy putting lots of cakes onto a long table. This one looks amazing, Ellie said, pointing to a cluster of pink frosted cupcakes. They're cupcakes! Oh, we have those at home, Jasmine said, sounding a bit disappointed. Really? The magical kind? If you eat one, you'll be able to fly for 5 minutes. Wow! Jasmine exclaimed. We definitely don't have cupcakes like that. Can we try them? Trixie nodded. Just one bite, though. We don't want the magic lasting too long. We've got a thunderbolt to find. Jasmine grinned excitedly and offered the cupcakes to her friends. But Ellie shook her head, flying like a fairy. No thanks, I'm happy to have my feet on the ground. Jasmine took a small bite of her cupcake. After a moment's hesitation, Summer did the same. Instantly, a pair of glittering wings sprang out on each of their backs. Jasmine flapped her wings carefully and then shot up upward. Summer was soon beside her and they zoomed around the air, going higher and higher. The wind whipped through their hair as they looped the loops and whooped with excitement. Trixie twirled in the air with them and then came to land on Ellie's shoulder. Don't go too high up, she called to Jasmine and Summer. Just as Trixie spoke, Summer began to wobble. Uh-oh, my wings are shrinking. Jasmine, look out! Ellie shouted as her friend's wings disappeared. Don't worry, Ellie, she tapped her wing and Jasmine and Summer suddenly slowed and landed gently on the ground. When? Whew! Jasmine sat and grinned. That was so much fun. Trixie winked at the birds, flying with leaps much safer. Summer chuckled, although her legs still felt wobbly. I think you're right. At the other end of the table, Ellie pointed to some heart-shaped treats. Hey, what are these called? Endless cookies. A brownie piped up. He only came to Ellie's knee. He was covered in soft brown hair and wore a funny green cup. You can eat as many as you want and never get full. Would you like one? Yes, please. Ellie took one and popped it into her mouth. It tastes like strawberries and chocolate and ice cream all rolled into one. Trixie and the girls continued to look around the palace grounds, searching for any sign of Queen Malice's thunderbolt or the problems it might be causing, but there was still no trace of it. Eventually, they reached an orchard where party games were being set up. They could see a large barrel where 7 dwarfs were practicing bobbing for golden apples. Nearby, 2 tiny pixie girls were busy wrapping one of their friends in glittery pink paper. But now we have to end. We don't have any more time. So until tomorrow, let's see what will happen to the 3 friends, Ellie, Summer, and Jasmine. So until next time, we'll see you again. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.